It's another beautiful day back down here at 79th Street. Everybody's ready to get out on the water and have a good time, including this crew that's backing down right here. My man must be getting out to check the trailer. Oh, somebody's excited. He's ready to boat. Oh my God, it's Pauly B. From Jersey Shore, the Jersey Shore crew down here in Miami. Welcome back, guys, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, in collaboration with our boy Wavy Boats, and it's another Wavy Guru Productions back down here at the ramp. And as we mentioned already, we're down at 79th Street, and we're about to see some fist bump action, it appears, down here. I mean, we got Pauly B over here putting the drain plug in. Look, they even brought Snook with them, and there's the situation himself. And they are most definitely about to get the party started down here at 79th Street. It's a little overcast here today. Wind's kind of light, so we don't have quite as heavy a current and wind as we've seen the last couple times down here at 79th. But still, we'll see how our boaters handle it as we get our first boater coming back in today who's going to approach the dock. And it looks like they're going all the way down, so I'm assuming they're probably going to 6 or 7, as 8's usually reserved for jet skis. But our crew's coming in on approach. Line looks okay so far. So he started off a little hot. He's kind of slowed it down a little bit. Once again, golden rule in boating, never approach anything any faster than you want to hit it. So he's definitely following that. And we're getting pretty close here now. Somebody probably should go for a toss or maybe for a leap. And Cap's going to turn the bow back into the dock, but that's probably not a good idea on this vessel because that stern on these types of boats is known to just kind of spin out when they do this. And yep, he's going to get himself into trouble. Somebody's going to have to go for the leap soon, and we've got the leap off, but he didn't take a line with him. What's my man doing? So Cap's just sitting here now. Maybe he thought he was going to get the truck, but Cap's kind of like, nah, bro, grab a line, let's do this. But my man, maybe he thought he was done for the day. He's like, yeah, peace out, homies. I'm just going to let you guys roll. But now they're going to have to pull him back. But pulling back with the stern line like this on this vessel, with the way the wind's blowing today, it's going to push the bow out. And that's going to cause a little bit of issues here. And this particular vessel probably isn't the correct setup to get this push back around. Maybe if they had the line on the mid cleat they could, but on that stern cleat, if he starts the motors here, it's still going to just push the bow around. So Cap's back on the stern now, trying to figure out what exactly to do here, but I guess he's going with the only method he knows. The boat wants to spin, and kind of like a lot of things in boating, if the boat wants to do a certain thing, you almost are better off to let it do it, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. But I still can't believe my man, he just jumped out of the bow of his boat. Kind of looked back like, peace out, guys, and like now he's out again. I don't know if he was going to get the truck, but I mean, he didn't have a line in hand or anything. And Cap was kind of just looking up at him like, what are you doing? But I mean, if he's getting the truck too, Cap could have backed right out of this and just kind of sat out there. I mean, it's not that busy down here yet. And we've got another jet boat crew coming in to approach the dock. I'll tell you what, the swim decks are really nice on these things. I mean, they're able just to kind of put their raft up there and not have to worry about it. It's always interesting to see these jet boats come in. For some reason, it's like a 50-50 mix. It's a flip of a coin. We'll get some people who'll come in here, handle it like a pro, and then others, for whatever reason, just struggle. And I think it's just because they kind of forget that rule that, especially on a jet boat, you really are steering from the stern. Once again, you're only pushing the stern of this boat. The bow's just going to go the opposite direction of the stern. But our crew's got his line, and he's coming in on approach. And they're heading in for 5, but he looks a little off. And here's where we start to see trouble sometimes from these guys, because he's starting to kind of float out off the dock. And some people will try and correct this immediately right here, and it's kind of not the answer on this one. This one, you almost got to back out with this vessel and start over. And our captain's actually going to do a pretty good job. That's exactly what he's going to do, it appears. And now he's going to throttle in, try and get that bow over, but the problem is with doing this, once again, we're steering from the stern, and that stern's going to push out on him. And there it goes. We're sideways in the slip. Our guy at the front, I mean, if you loosen a little bit of line, you could toss that around one of the poles probably. But we've drifted kind of far off now, so Cap's going to give us a little power, and our guy's heading up to the front. Is he going for the leap or the toss? We go for the leap. Now he's going to have to push the bow around to try and get the stern to come around as well. And I believe we've got somebody with the, I mean, it looks like she probably has a stern line, so At least we've got 2 lines out, so these guys are at least kind of ready for this. But they're going to have to walk this boat up. I mean, if the cap, if he turned this to the right and gave it a bump of forward throttle, that stern should come into the dock. But it just seems counterproductive sometimes. Like, not counterproductive, but in a captain's mind, I mean, you really got to think about that. Okay, I need the stern to come in. Let me turn and let the stern steer into the dock. And as you can tell right here, he's kind of going the wrong way again. But our captain's going to leave the helm, but he's left the helm with the boat still on, which is a little weird in this situation because I don't know how well you guys know these Yamaha jet boats, but there's no true neutral on this boat. So even though he's in neutral, it's still got a little bit of power, which is probably part of the reason it's steering into the dock right here. Not enough power that if you get some lines on, it's not going anywhere, but it's going to act funny. And here comes our cap. It appears he's going to try and solo navigate this thing onto the dock. And I believe this is one of the guys that's with one of the jet ski rental companies, though. I see this one quite a bit. So most of the docks are a little bit full over here right this second. He kind of starts to pull into one, but there's another boat backing down, so he's going to back out on that one. Be interesting to see what he does here, because typically these guys like him, who I believe are out here working, like, they're in a rush. These guys are never really waiting around for docks. They're ready to get their job done and get out of here. And he's already kind of calling his shot, pointing into the dock. But we've got another vessel pulling out over here, and it's going to kind of block him a little bit. He's going to have to pull this one back into neutral. And this is actually still going to be a pretty tight little squeeze, as this vessel's coming toward him, and they're close. But he's able to throw into reverse. If he would have just stayed there, we'd have had a little collision right there, actually. And our guy's going to start making his turn in toward the dock. Curious to see which one he's going to go with here, because over on 7, somebody's launching. And really his only option, it appears, is 5. But once again, we've got a jet ski here. If you can't tell if you look in the front, that's kind of hanging out. In other words, somebody's got it barely tied onto the ramp, and it's kind of doing its own thing. So he's going to try and squeeze this in here. We've got skis on both sides, hanging out off the dock, and oh, my man is calling it close. But once again, my man's a professional, and he does this probably all the time, but he's trying to thread the needle for sure. So he's going to get around that ski there. Oh, the stern gets close to the other ski, but no, he's gonna put this in there. And he's kind of got it pinned against the dock, and he's going to have to give it a bump of forward throttle to try and get this over. Hopefully it goes a little forward and misses the ski behind him as well. And it does. This was pretty slick, actually. I mean, that was kind of tight quarters, and my man just threaded the needle and put it in there, which is really kind of what I figured we were going to see from him, because the docks were kind of full. And once again, these pros, they're not waiting around. They're finding a way to get this thing docked up and to get out of here. And kind of like us, we're going to get out of here as well. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things over at Haulover Inlet. My channel, Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy, educational boating videos over there. And of course, we've got Boats vs. Haulover, where Man and Machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet, Miami, Florida. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.